In this video, I'm going to cover how V14 Light exits garages and enters and exits driveways. I want to caution everybody that just because it can exit your garage does not mean that it will exit it safely. This is not just an issue with V14 Light, it's also an issue with hardware 4 vehicles. The side mirrors can get damaged in the process, and I'll demonstrate that very clearly in this video. So make sure that when you first get it, you don't jump up and down with excitement and then go and damage your car. And make sure you stay to the end of the video where I talk about some other people's experience with V14 Light and why I believe it hasn't gone wider. So right now I'm in park, I put a destination in. Even if you don't put a destination in at all, you can still start self-driving. There is the button up there. I'm going to press it. I'm going to hold down on the brake, and I'm going to show you exactly why this may not be the safest thing. Here we are 1 mile per hour. It's backing up. And as you could see, it got really, really close. It's actually moving the trim on my garage right now. So this is not ideal. You know, another fraction of a millimeter and we would have had a collision with my mirror. I wish it would recognize that and fold the mirrors in. Now, if you're that type of person that folds your mirrors, maybe this is okay. I'm not one of those people because it's a mechanical part and those parts go bad over time. So let's test it one more time to see if we can get it to move away from this wall here. Here it's even worse. The car is in the back is about to hit the trim. I'm not willing to risk it for that, so I'm going to pull it back in and reorient it a little bit further over to the right, which again is something that I personally don't do when I park my car in here. And a big reason why I don't do that is because my wife parks her car on the right side of the garage, and I need enough space so that my kids don't slam the door into my car, and then also I can walk smoothly between the cars when I go inside. Now that would have been a collision for sure. Let me show you. I'm going to manually do this at a speed far less than 1 mile per hour and show you what would have happened here, because it was showing no indication to slow down and it definitely would have caused some damage here. Now that, my friends, would have taken my mirror right off. The second challenge with garages and driveways is when you get out of your garage, if you're parked in a safe location for it to go fully in reverse, is if you have a car parked in your driveway. I have 2 cars in my driveway. My family has 4 vehicles total, and we have to kind of stagger 2 of them in my driveway so that one of them can get out on a regular basis, and that is my Tesla. So I'm going to show you what happens with the car at the end of the driveway as it reverses out. I thought I could train it, but I've tested this now a dozen times or more, and no matter what, well, you're going to find out here. You can see the wheel, it's starting to turn. It's like it knows what it needs to do, but then it just doesn't do it quickly enough. And I can't quite figure out why. Because for me, driving myself, I turn the wheel a lot more than that, and I turn it quickly. So at this point, as I demonstrated in my first video, if I step on the accelerator, yeah, it'll keep going, but it will hit the other car. You can see, even though it's getting closer, my ultrasonic sensors are showing up saying 22 inches 17 inches now, it's saying stop, it would hit that other car. So at this point, I have no choice but to take over. And now let's test some parking. I'll approach my driveway from the left and also from the right. Here's the first example, approaching my driveway from the right. It says Charger as the destination here on the screen. You can see the destination is Charger. Here it's indicating to turn right. Now it opens up the garage. I do have HomeLink. It often clips the curb. It's going to do it right now. There, it just went over the curb. It's a small curb, so it's okay, but am I going to allow it to do that on a daily basis? No, probably not. Now, this behavior is very similar to Hardware 4 with version 14.3.4, which is the latest and the greatest. It will do the exact same thing. I just love that it goes into the driveway with that other vehicle there. And it still recognizes it as a Charger, but it's just going to stop and park itself right here. And then, by the way, I have to point out as well, when the driveway is on the right, sometimes it will actually pull over to the side of the road and park itself before it gets to its final destination. So it's not 100% reliable to come into a driveway. Now let's test it with the driveway on the left side. Here again, you can see it specifying Charger by default. It knows that I have a wall connector in my garage, so it specifies the final destination as a Charger, but reliably, does it always go left? No. Sometimes it puts the right turn signal on and confuses somebody behind me. It's not so often. It used to do that all the time on version 12, but I did see it happen a couple times here with version 14 Light. So, but the fact that it goes in here most of the time is great. It's a welcome change, but it's those 1 or 2 times where it puts the turn signal on to go right and someone's right behind me. I live on a busier road, so bear in mind, if you live on a quiet road, this may not annoy you and you may be like, okay, I'll just let it do whatever. But for me, I can't be experimenting when someone's behind me like that because it will really upset them. I've had someone honking. I mean, imagine if you're driving and someone puts the right turn signal on and then suddenly they go left. That would be like very frustrating. Like, is this person drunk? Like, very annoying. Let's test it one more time here to see if it can do it again where it comes in. But this time I'm going to change it from Charger over to driveway. In fact, I don't think driveway is even an option with V14 Light. Let's confirm those selections here. It says Charger, parking lot, and street. So confirmed here, driveway is not an option with V14 Light. And I'm going to superimpose the V14 3.4 version here. You can see where driveway is an option at the bottom of the menu. Seeing again here, if it puts the right turn signal on somehow by mistake, here we are, left turn signal. Okay, good. And you know, if you're not looking at your screen, you often don't know what turn signal it turned on. So you could think it's turning left, and in reality, it's pulling over to the side of the road on the right side. So again, be very careful with that depending on the layout of your driveway, the street that you're on. There are a lot of variables to consider, but this will take a couple tests, not just one. Make sure you test it a couple times to confirm how it behaves in your own environment. So as promised, we'll do one last test, and I'm going to specify park instead of Charger and see if it behaves any differently, maybe. Let's see. And someone also asked me, can you get it to reverse into your driveway? If you can, I have no idea how, and I know a lot of people that have expressed the challenge with having version 14 to do that, so not sure. It looks like you can't just say park, you have to say parking lot. Let's see if this does anything different. Obviously, my driveway is not a parking lot. Left turn signal went on. Looks like the same. And might as well test the other options. In this case, it's going to be, I'm going to say street. How about that? We'll try street. That's the only other option that we haven't tested. If in fact it pulls over to park on the side of the street, which is what I'm expecting here, somebody said you can play a trick and you can change it at the last second and then it will pull in and go into your garage. Sure enough here, it's pulling over to the side of the road right here it's slowing down. I'm going to select charger at the last second. 3, 2, there we go, changed. See now if it, oh, okay, I didn't catch it soon enough. I changed it, but it still parked itself. So just out of curiosity, I have to test this one more time because somebody did comment and I don't know if it's true. In my opinion, this is a little bit silly to test because who in the right mind is really going to do this besides a diehard FSD maniac? And even myself, being a tech geek and a crazy dude, even myself, I'm not going to play these games every time I come home where I change the type that it's parking. But I'm still curious because they said it works, but like I said, I highly doubt it, but we'll try it here one more time. Okay, we have some geese here. This should be an interesting test. I didn't catch them quickly enough. So it sees them slowing down. It showed up as a dog on the screen, but that's nothing new. It's always been very safe around animals. Sorry guys, I just saw them and real quick and I was like, I have to test this, but I wasn't fast enough. So here it's specified as street, and as it starts to indicate there it's turning it on. I'm gonna change it to charger real quick. Hopefully it aborts here, did it a lot quicker. And still parking on the side of the road. So not sure what that person was talking about, but that's enough playing around for me. I'll be showcasing some of the new features there, the differences between that and the premium. Version 14 Lite is a different software. So even though it feels similar to 12.6.4, the reaction times I'm hearing are better and it's behaving differently on certain roads. Rocco said his normal trip where he's tested extensively with his Hardware 3 car is behaving a lot better with V14 Light. And I've noticed a couple little things that are different. The one downside is that the steering wheel in my car still wobbles back and forth a little bit in its lane, which is very subtle. It's just a little minor nuisance. It's not a deal breaker for me at all to stop using full self-driving. Phantom braking, let's talk about that for a little bit. Is that gone? It's hard to say yes. It's a percentage thing, right? So is it better than it was before? Hard to know. I think it takes weeks of testing to really say that it's better or improved. I did test speed bumps though, and I should say that speed bumps were really great. It was 10 for 10. I think I went over 6 of them in the city. Unfortunately, I wasn't filming at the time, but it slowed down and went over the speed bumps very, very well. And then other things, parking lots and parking garages in particular, with the ticket gates. I'll have to give that some thought and figure out where to go, because if I do find a place I have to pay for parking, which maybe you guys can do a super thanks on my YouTube video. If someone comments on this and says, yes, I'll pay your parking ticket or whatever it is to get into the garage, then yeah, I'll go and do that. Maybe that's your use case. Maybe you have a ticket gate that doesn't work with 12.6.4, so maybe it's worth it to pay for that ticket for me to go and test that. But if you do want to see that, let me know, like, what is your use case? Do you pull up and like a camera recognizes your license plate and then the bar opens up automatically? Or, you know, what do you exactly want to see with that type of test? I'll do my best to test whatever I can, whatever you guys would like to see here. Now let's talk about why it hasn't gone wider. A couple testers have noticed, and one of them is I don't know his name, is like J32 or something, JC32. Not JC Christopher. Love you if you're watching, by the way. You're awesome. I love your Uber rides. But I think Rocco also confirmed that there was an issue where the start self-driving button just disappears.
This is interesting, like all this bug and stuff. I wonder if it's because driver not detected. Yeah, I think I saw. Fucking, are you freaking kidding me? Go. Okay, well, you guys are seeing this. This is clearly a bug. Press the brake. Clearly, there's a driver. driving around detected. Well, I mean, woo. Apparently I'm not a driver, guys. FSD is taking my license away. I guess we're stranded now. Well, that makes no sense. Okay, I'll work around to get it back in.
And it messes with Bluetooth, I heard. So there's some sort of bug with the start self-driving button and beginning your trips. I have noticed a little bit of delays here and there with it. And if you watched my previous video, I'll show it up here. If you click on that one, you'll see that it does not pull over to the side of the road when you fall asleep or if you pass out in your car and you're on the highway. It's the same scenario when you're on a city street. It just does not pull over. It just kind of slows down in its lane and comes to a stop. The hazard lights go on. And that, to me, is not great. I think safety should be first ahead of all these little, in my opinion, party tricks. Getting out of your garage. I mean, that's not a part. I mean, that's practical, but it's, you know, the icing on the cake, if you will. Oh, I also tested drive-thrus. It kind of does drive-thrus, which I thought was fun. It was, you know, interesting to experiment with. But that definitely is a party trick. That's something that, besides filming, it just doesn't make sense to test and or use on a regular basis. It's quite dumb, to be honest with you, because it's not reliable, it's not a feature, and it's totally just kind of stupid to be messing around with that. I mean, if you think about it, the person that's taking the order is gonna be like, WTF, like, what is this guy doing? So, I mean, if you're filming like I was in my video, this lady, she was smiling and she was happy. And I went in afterwards and explained the situation. So if you're willing to go through all of that and film it, then great, go for it. But I would say don't play games with drive-thrus in a normal situation. Anyway, I'll close this out from here. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.